Hello, my name is Susan Ashley and I'm doing part 2 of what the aliens told me about. I'd like you to take a moment and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can continue getting these videos when I upload them. Now, I did mention that there were various different aliens that spoke to me, and one of them was the Pleiades, and I had quite a strong connection with the Pleiadians. And they once came to me and they said, in a conversation, Susan, how do you think we fly our craft? And what do you think we use to fly our craft? And I said, well, I don't know, some form of fuel or energy or something like that. And they said, well, actually what we do is we get soulmates, depending on how big the craft is. They choose soulmates, and there would be a male and a female, and the female would generate the energy. So in other words, her magnetic field would pull in the energy or the light field from the universe and from around her, and the male would direct that energy into the ship with the coordinates or the idea of where they want to go, because they said to me also that we on Earth have this concept of travelling at the speed of light. So that's why we say it's so many years to go to Mars or to Pluto or something like that. It takes a certain amount of time at a certain velocity. And what they said to me is that they travel at the speed of thought, which is something completely different. And they said that it takes a great deal of training for the couple to be able to work like this. And they have several couples because, they do it in rotation. Yeah. And they said to me that this is what men and women are capable of. They're capable of creating a child, a living being, and yet they don't honour that on Earth. We don't honour our sensuality, our sexuality. We honour, the boobs, and we sexualise everything, what the man's muscles and things like this. But what we're not looking at is the soul of the person and the attributes of the person. A lot of the time it's what we see that's we're attracted to, whether or not the man can support us financially or give us the lifestyle that we want, and whether or not the woman can be for the man this goddess in the bedroom, and the honouring feminine virgin in the house, doing everything for her man. I mean, this is just completely ridiculous. And what they're saying is that in order for these soulmates to generate such a frequency and to be able to fly a craft, they have to really trust each other, and they need to really understand their own energy. And we don't. And so that kind of took me on a journey to understanding my energy as a woman, understanding what drives me, understanding how my energy moves in my body. It's quite different to a man's, where it begins, the Kundalini. And of course, most of the teachings that we have as spiritual teachings come from men. So they're from a male perspective. And anything that's come from women has been destroyed. And so I went through this huge period of learning what it is to be a woman, and what it is to honour my feminine energy. And in doing so, allowing a man to honour it, but also assisting women to understand the power that they are. Their ability to create is really strong. And one of the things they also told me was that we were coming into a period where, and it started now, a lot of you have already felt it, where you start to meet people and you make this instant connection. It's like, the movie Avatar, where she says, I see you. It's like this, where you just meet someone and that really hits you, and you really feel this strong connection. And unfortunately, what most people do, particularly if you feel that connection really deeply and you've never felt it before with another person, they start to sexualize it. So they start to think, oh, wow, I felt this incredible connection with this person, this pull, my third eye opened, my heart went into bliss. It was just totally amazing. They awakened me, therefore I have to be with them. therefore I have to have sex with them. And then it all gets messed up, because you're not meant to actually couple. You're meant to meet each other, have this awakening, and perhaps move forward in some cases, or just be friends. And when it comes to the male-female connection, we always take it back to sexuality, when in fact we just need to be friends. In order for men to understand women and their power, they need to be friends with women. They need to feel honoured by women, safe and secure around women, and vice versa. So it's not always about sex. Sometimes energy that's shifting has to do with your ability to heal, your ability to manifest, your ability to co-create. If we come together and we co-create something together, we can use that energy, and it can feel sexual because it's quite strong, but it's actually the energy to manifest something. And that's what's important. So what you're going to find is you're going to meet these people and you're going to feel really, really connected to them. And instantly your mind's going to go, wow, I'm so connected to this person, then I have to have a sexual relationship with them. I'll leave my husband, I'll leave my family, I'll go off. And in some cases that is true, that is what happens. But in a lot of cases it won't be. It won't be. And I've met people who say, I felt such a profound thing. It's driving me crazy, because we don't understand it. We can't categorize it. We can't put it into a formula and say, wow, I felt this, so therefore I have to act like this. Particularly when the other person is going, I'm not interested in you. I don't want to have a relationship with you. I've got this going on in my life. And they don't feel the same way as you have felt by meeting them. See, we're going to start awakening each other's souls, and this is our light. It's like our light is communicating to the light in others, and we don't have to take it to a place of partnership all the time. And I feel this is really important. So they're saying that the essence of relationships is changing. And when men and women understand the power that they have when they come together and what they can create. And what was really interesting is they said that, a lot of... often soulmates are born in different countries, in different cultures, different religions. And so they come together to break down the prejudice and the, racism and things like that within their own families, within their own communities, because that's the way we're going to do it. You can't dictate to someone. You're not allowed to be prejudiced and you're not allowed to be racist when they've experienced hardship from that particular tribe of people or religion. You can't just expect people to suddenly embrace them. So how they embrace them and embrace that religion is by having someone from a totally different culture, totally different reality, come in and feel love for one of their members. And then they start to communicate one-on-one. So it's not a threat, it's not an order, it's not a domination or anything like that. It's a very gentle knowing and understanding of someone who comes from a different paradigm than you. It's a great way to introduce new religions and new cultures. And that's also going on. It's been going on, I would say, quite strongly for about 15 years. And I know that a lot of soulmates have been torn apart because of it. Because your love is meant to be stronger than your pain. So this is another thing that's going to start happening more and more. And also what they told me was that part of the agenda around, how can I say this? There's a gender agenda that's been going on for a number of years, and it's been really pushed now, even in schools. Even where I live, they're trying to get little boys to dress up as little girls to see what it feels like to be a little girl, and all this gender exchange and everything, which is very confusing for a child. And that's part of this way of taking us away from honouring the sex we chose to represent. So the gender we chose to represent when we came here. And if they can create a war between men and women, and also a dislike for your own gender, yourself, you know, confusion and pain around your own gender, they stop us from coming together and manifesting and creating what we want on the planet. And they keep control of us. And when I say they, I'm talking about government systems that are controlled by certain negative beings. And that I would need to go into in another video. But what they've been telling me is that this whole thing of, you know, creating disharmony between men and women, creating disempowerment with women. I mean, look at all the countries where there's absolute poverty. In those countries, they're run by men, and women have very, very low value. In a lot of cases, they're not seen physically in that country. They have to cover up. They don't have a voice. They don't have any access to what they need or to be heard. They don't have any representation of them. Even though they're told that they do, they don't. And when you have countries where your energy frequency of being in the feminine is denied, so that's the ability to manifest and to nurture and to create harmony and love and forgiveness and compassion. When that's being denied, you get too much masculine, and it's warring. And also when you deny that feminine beauty and her ability to nurture, the country isn't nurtured, so therefore there's famine, you know, or there's thirst or something like this. So what they said to me was, understand the gender that you are. That's the key. And then have understanding and compassion for the other gender, not going into competition, but actually joining together. So if you look at our media in the last 2 years, there's been a really strong push to separating men and women and creating hatred between them and anger between them, where men are like, oh, you know, women are, you know, all bitches, they're all after everything, and men are all, men are all dominating and controlling, and they don't want women to have a role in business. It's actually in a lot of cases not true. But, you know, we're being shown this in television, in all forms of media, that we should see ourselves as weak and powerless. So I'm referring to women here, and that men have control, and we should feel anger towards them because of that. And it's not necessarily true. And most women do know that if you have compassion for your partner, he'll grow more than if you have anger towards him. And so this has all been part of an agenda to separate soulmates and to separate men and women from creating together. So that's why you've got a lot of partnerships breaking up, because they're karmic. And karmic relationships are all about control, domination, and healing something deep from the past. And so a lot of people have had these karmic relationships, and now they had to leave them because they want to find their authentic self. And there's nothing wrong with that. And karmic relationships can be very, very painful. So a lot of relationships are breaking up, but a lot of relationships are coming together that are soulmate relationships, in order to help us to activate our ability to literally fly a craft. Can you believe this? This really astounded me, and I was so impassioned by that I really wanted to figure out my energy so that I would be able to join with someone in such a way as to be able to create anything, which is quite remarkable. But I'm going to leave you with that now, and I'm going to say thank you for listening to my videos, and I really would love you to connect with me through my website, lovelightandtruth.com, or make an appointment with me if you feel I can assist you in some way, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a fantastic day. Bye.